I thought it was all costume jewelry.
Everybody did.
And we all thought it was fake. It didn't make sense for any of it to be real based on the basement that it came out of. It's once in a lifetime find. And we've heard that from multiple jewelers. They've said this is once in a lifetime. Welcome to garage sale season, baby. I think you guys can see it. Oh, yeah, there's one in the bottom. Made me a good deal on these ones. Chase after the right price. Let's go. In today's video, we're gonna see which jewelers will pay the most for these rings. Let's get into it. Hey guys, so today we want to go through some of our gold that we got at the Gold Rush garage sale. So I ordered a little scale. So this guy is what people use to weigh things in grams. And then with a quick Google, I can figure out how much each amount of gold goes for. So 10 carats is going for $24.13 per gram. Almost all the rings we have are 10 carat. We might have some 14, maybe some 18, but mostly 10. These are all 10. They're all solid gold. There's nothing else mixed in. So I figured these would be a good example to weigh. So 20 grams on the dot. Multiplied that here, $482.60 is the scrap value. Now a lot of shops might pay 88%, some might pay more or less. What we're gonna do is figure out, okay, we've got 3 shops here in town that we think are pretty good. So we'll take it to my guy that I've already sold to. We'll take it to the other jewelry store, and then to the jewelry store with the owner that we actually know, and just see what will they pay on these 4 rings. And we know scrap is about $482. We'll expect maybe to be in the neighborhood of $400. But we can kind of just compare the 3 shops and see what they'll do, so we can know who to maybe go to with more of the rings. And then I think we'll also do a different sample, because those ones are kind of they're a little more simple because they're just gold. But most of the rings we have are like, say, these, for example. So they've got these stones in them, so you can't just straight up weigh them and decide how much you would pay based on scrap. But who knows, maybe the stones have a little bit of value, maybe they don't. But if we take it to 3 different shops, I think we'll get a pretty good sample size and a good idea of, you know, what we have, what if the stones are anything, and what each shop will pay. So what we're gonna do is we'll take this little display with the rings, we'll take those, we'll get 2 separate offers on each one at 3 different shops, and we'll just see what to do from there. So the jewelry game is a game that I've had to learn a bunch about through this purchase. Now, some of you guys may have saw that we already went back, paid more money for this jewelry that we got in a crazy garage sale, estate sale score. Just ended up being a lot more than I thought was initially there when I was buying it.
We thought it was all fake.
Yeah,
like there was...
I thought I was throwing away $300.
Yeah.
Obviously that didn't end up happening. So now we're kind of figuring out even more of the best ways to sell it. We've gotten rid of maybe half of the gold.
Yeah, I have the spreadsheet. I think we've sold 115
items.
Yeah.
And there's probably still 85-ish left. But that's just among the gold pieces. And the ones we sold were like the baby rings, the ones that aren't really sellable. They're mostly scrap, but we actually traded them mostly for video games. Yep.
So we've given the very first metric that kind of gave us an idea of like, oh wow, these are real gold. We sold 15 rings for $500. Link to that video up here.
Yep, so 115 small gold rings and items, earrings. Went to Michael. He paid us $951 cash, and then $2,800 in value of video games, which he was gonna pay $1,000 in cash for that portion. So we essentially got $3,700 from Michael, $500 from a local shop, so we're at $4,200. And then we have these, and we're gonna get offers from Michael. We're gonna get offers from another local guy who deals in vintage jewelry, and then we're gonna take them to 4 local jewelry stores. And a lot of these stores claim we'll pay 100%, we'll pay 95%, we'll pay 88%. So we're gonna see if they actually stick to their word. We've got weights on them. I bought a scale. We got weights on these in DWT.
Yep. So we do know how much they're worth, so we can kind of compare if their advertised value is actually what they're paying for one, and two, just kind of
who's gonna pay the most.
Yeah, who's gonna pay the most.
Yeah.
So in addition to these, we have 4 just solid gold.
Yeah. So those are
rings
easy to weigh.
Don't have the little fake gemstones set in them.
Yeah. So those are like 20 grams on the dot. 10 carat. Everything's 10 carat. So yeah, we're just gonna kind of explore and see, you know, who's gonna pay the most, and then after that, they're probably gonna be the one that gets the rest of our business.
Yeah,
because
like
show the rest of the bin here that we still have. Like, we got a
so
bunch
in
more
addition
stuff.
to this,
yeah,
like,
so there's another
we have
60 gold rings in there.
Yeah, there's,
among other pieces. Some of the stuff has nice
we have
diamonds.
Little pendants. We have lots of just loose rings, some gold, some silver, more displays.
Yep.
Yeah, lots more complete displays. Big bag of sterling. And we don't really know. Did we figure out what the rates for that were?
If it's by weight, it's really cheap. So that's going to be something I want to find, like a vintage jewelry dealer.
Yeah.
Because it's going to be worth a lot more that way. But yeah, so we're just starting with a small sample size to see who will get the rest of the business. So we're going to bring you guys with us for the journey. It's a learning experience for us. We've learned a lot so far, but want to learn a lot more. So let's do it. All right, so we're currently sitting at our first jewelry store. It is the local store.
Yep, this is the connection that I have, the one that validated the diamonds and said he would buy everything.
Yep.
So we are going to give him,
the option
sell
to
him,
buy.
to buy these pins. I can throw up another picture of them as well. It's got one of the rings with the diamond in it.
They're stick pins.
Yeah, stick pins
with diamonds. They're 14 karat gold. And then the rings.
Oh, this one's 18 karat.
Oh yeah,
14 karat and an 18. Yeah, and then we're gonna bring in these, see what he has to offer, and yeah,
let's do it.
So we just got offers on these rings and these rings from the place we just went to.
It was $520-ish for the rings.
Yes, $520 for all the rings.
For all the rings.
He did account a little bit for the stones in each of them, which makes total sense. He did check out to see that they were all 10 karat. We knew that already, but for him.
Yep. And so one thing that I've learned through this process, Michael actually filled me in on this. You can weigh rings with stones in something called DWT. So that essentially is the standard weight that factors in stones that aren't worth money. It kind of takes off an average of what that weight might be, and then you know you've got roughly that much in gold. Equate that to grams, and that's what you pay. And so he also did it. He weighed these separately, and then weighed all these in one.
And kind of confirmed the weights that we have. But he just has so much stuff. This is purely scrap to him.
Yeah,
whereas
all this, he said this is scrap. He wouldn't sell them individually. So my hunch is that the person that we'll end up selling to, or the shop, will be somebody that deals in vintage jewelry and has people that they can sell it to. They can get more than scrap.
And that makes the most sense.
Yeah, but we're sitting at another jewelry store right now. We're going to get their offer. And then we're also going to get offers from Michael and there's another local guy who actually commented on a video on the first one, and he deals in vintage jewelry, so we'll get an offer from him as well, and we'll just kind of see who's the highest.
And we do have a rough number as far as what this place pays as far as percent for what the market value is for gold. So we'll update the numbers. We'll update you guys on the numbers of that when we know, but we do have a rough estimate. So I am curious to see if they truly are paying what they say,
whatever percentage,
what they advertise, because they do advertise it and they do say it. So yeah,
let's go check it out. Just went to jewelry store number 2, and he basically said that he could get $840 for everything.
He said to him it's just scrap. To a lot of these bigger jewelers, it's just scrap. It's not worth their time. It's off-brand to sell vintage stuff. Said it was cool though.
It makes sense, and they both jewelers were super honest with us. And in both cases, just so you guys know, we went in with full disclosure to them that we are fielding offers.
Yeah.
We're making a video out of it for the channel,
which is uncommon.
Yeah.
But like,
we just don't want to be like shady, you know. Like we're just like, hey, just so you know, like we are looking for the best offers. We're taking them to 4 different places. So basically, what I told him was, we have a strong offer from a friend of mine, Michael, who you guys probably saw in the last iteration. And he had offered $850 cash for the rings.
Yep.
And the guy said there that he could get about $840 for them. So clearly Michael's offer is strong. But I also have a YouTube viewer who I will send pictures of the rings to, get an offer from him, and we'll see what he says.
Yeah.
And he's a dealer in vintage jewelry. So after that, we will have somebody to sell to.
Yeah, I'm excited to see, just in general, because this is such a learning experience, like what it's worth to different people.
Yeah.
Like, since it is obviously
businesses operate differently.
Yeah, like it's not regular jewelry by any means. So it's not worth just scrap to some people versus others. So above all else, it is really interesting to learn, if we do ever find stuff in the future, what the best route to go is.
Yeah.
Vintage
We're just
jewelry
trying to learn as much as we possibly can right now, because we might find we won't find this scenario again, most likely.
Yeah.
But we may find little pieces here and there, and we'll
like,
know the best avenues to go.
Yeah. If you guys have any other recommendations or comments or about anything with this, like where you sell gold, or if you have found vintage stuff or new old stock in the past, what do you do? Do you scrap it? Do you have somebody that you sell it to?
Yep.
Just
and our goal along this whole process was for us to learn a bunch, but also for you guys to learn with us.
Yeah.
Because if you see gold or silver at a garage sale, hopefully you'll be armed with a little bit more information.
Yeah. And continue, sorry.
Yeah, no, that was it. That was it.
But thank you to everybody who has commented. Maybe we'll throw up a bunch of comments right here or something for everybody that has given some input. Like, they have been like lower viewed videos, but the comments have been incredible.
So helpful. We really appreciate you guys.
Yeah. So if you haven't watched the old videos, go watch them, because they're fun. They're pretty cool. Like it is just a cool experience.
It's once in a lifetime find, and we've heard that from multiple jewelers. They've said this is once in a lifetime. Yeah, this has been fun.
We did find out a little bit more, real quick, backtracking, at the, not this jeweler, but the last one. The father of the owner knew about this old jewelry shop. He knew where it was.
He said he was a by hand engraver.
Yeah, so like
freehand engraver.
Yep, so he would do engravings, but in addition to the jewelry shop. But he also said that at one point in this town there were like 20 to 30 shops at one point, which is super crazy, because there's
2/3 now.
Yeah, like
maybe 4.
Yeah, like if you're talking big and small, yeah.
So it's gone down a little bit,
but it is like 98 degrees in this car, so we're gonna turn on the
AC
air
back on. Okay guys, so this jewelry collection was absolutely nuts, and initially I bought it for $300. We didn't fully capture my thought process, so I want to be a little bit clear here. I thought it was all costume jewelry.
Everybody did.
And we all thought it was fake. It didn't make sense for any of it to be real based on the basement that it came out of. So it was a gamble. I was not an expert in the field, so I gave $300 and a chance that it could be worth a lot of money. Clearly it has panned out very well. So we're actually back here at the house and gonna give them a bunch more money, just to hopefully I don't know, show them the love of God, show them that we care, and hopefully bless him in a way. So that's why we're doing it, and hopefully it can be a blessing to him. This has been quite a fun journey going through everything. Chase has called him, talked to him on the phone, let him know he's kind of taken back
when we said we were going to bring in more money.
Obviously,
just
you didn't really
because-
expect to hear that out of my mouth.
Yeah.
Or out of anybody's mouth, for that matter.
Yeah.
And so hopefully this can help him with that a little bit. And we'll give him that. And then we also brought some cash just in case he does want to sell the rest of it, because we have went back down and looked at what else is there.
And we did make an offer in the past, and so
Yeah, we'll
might
just
bring
kind of
that up
re-solidify
again
that
and-
offer and kind of make this the last time seeing him.
Yeah.
Unless we buy the stuff.
Yeah.
I'm not banking on it, but
Yeah.
we're gonna go do that.
This story has been crazy enough. What's 50 more episodes?
Okay, so all 4 places of bringing the rings to, we have checked out. The winner, the highest offer on the rings, is Derek from Lansing. So he deals in vintage jewelry specifically. He has a lot of connections, and he thinks he'll be able to move these pretty well as new old stock vintage jewelry. So he came out strong, offered $1,100, which is a very, very generous offer. It is more than scrap. So he'll be selling them individually. At least that's his goal. So he offered $1,100 on these. We still have all this left in this bin, so we're gonna probably let him look at a good bit of that, make offers on that, and we're gonna go see him tomorrow. We'll probably bring you guys along. We will bring you guys along for that. But just in summary, the jewelry store number 1 offered $500. Jewelry store number 2 offered $550. Good friend Michael offered $850, and Derek offered $1,100. Now, every single person was fair based on their business model. So the 2 jewelry stores, we saw the weights. The weights were accurate that they wrote down. They paid their percentage per gram. So that's what they did. They're going to melt it down. They're more in the business of melting down and moving gold and silver quickly. So that's why their offers were a little bit lower. Michael just pays probably the highest percentage as far as meltdown goes. He's a local friend and he's awesome. But then Derek kind of has a unique business model where he has connections in selling vintage jewelry specifically. So he pretty much said, I'll probably be able to offer you more than most because of the way that I sell it. And he was right. So $1,100 for this stuff. I believe I sent him a picture of this as well after the fact, and he offered $500 on these. So good offers, and then we'll see what he says on the rest. And of course, we'll kind of finalize how much we've made from everything after tomorrow. But right now, we've made about $1,600 in cash, and then $2,800 worth of video games that were traded. So $4,400 total. Initial investment was $300. I did go back and just pay him a bunch more money, so the investment has gotten a good bit more. But after all is said and done, we'll see what it ends at. But we might be pushing 8,000, maybe 10,000 if it really goes well, because we still have a lot more displays, watches, things that aren't
That's
precious
the other
metals.
thing. This has just been rings.
Yeah, this has only been gold and silver, and you know, we'll probably be around 8,000 after all just the rings are gone. And then I would guess at least 2,000 for some of the other stuff. We've got a very unique Accutron watch display that should be worth at least $250 to $300. Sold one of the watches for over $100 and still have more watches that I think we can get that for. So this has been a fun one. I learned a ton. I feel way more confident in jewelry than I was before. Still nowhere near an expert, but definitely know a lot more than I did. But now let's go see what Derek offers for the rest of the good stuff. All right, so we are officially making the trip to go and sell some jewelry. So we've got the gold and silver in that little bin, and he'll be looking at that pretty close, I'm sure. And then if he wants any of the rest of it, he might be getting it. So let's do it.
Let's do it.
All right, so we're gonna sell a bunch of jewelry. He's gonna check it all out, and then we'll update you guys on what he takes and how much we're getting.
It is finished.
It's yeah. We were just talking about how relieving it is to finally get rid of. I mean, is there still stuff at the house?
I have like probably 10 rings and the diamond stick pins just to keep as a memory. So probably another
$500 to $800 worth of stuff at home. But
Yeah.
other than that, like I think there might be one more bin. I don't know.
Yeah, there's that big yellow bin.
Yeah.
Shoot. Okay, it's not finished.
Almost finished.
It's almost finished, but this is a huge weight lifted off shoulders. But
Yeah, we did a lot of learning, a lot of. Basically, we feel good that we got basically as much as we could to sell it all to one person.
yeah, we definitely maximized. We learned a lot from a lot of people. Got to see a lot of trends as far as like the flow of jewelry, gold, silver, how that works, how people move it up the chain to eventually be, sold back down.
Yep.
Learning everybody's methods and how they do that, the percentages they pay, how these single dealers even deal and buy from jewelry shops in some cases, which surprised me.
Yep. If
But
they have the right connections to sell them as pieces instead of melting them down,
yeah,
a lot of times they're going to be able to pay more than
yeah.
people that just melt them down.
And one of the other things is just if you deal with jewelry, you're a different breed.
Yes.
Like the amount of stuff that you have to go through, the amount of knowledge that you have to have on a bunch of stuff, and just having all the connections.
The low margins.
Yeah,
It's a volume game.
the low margins is. I don't know how it's worth it. Like, I mean, it obviously is.
The stuff is almost as good as cash, so I guess that's kind of why, because it
Yeah.
can be moved so quick in most cases.
Yeah,
That's crazy. That's a different game.
yeah. So we're very happy.
We didn't say what we got.
Oh yeah, so we got $31.50 for all the stuff that we showed you we were taking. That includes the rings that we had initially appraised. He did say, and this is kind of what we suspected, the offer of $1,100 was just to kind of like
Get our attention.
get our attention for other stuff. And he was honest with us about that. And he had said that over the phone even when you talked to him. But super honest. That was one of the interesting things. Sometimes you think of jewelry people as like the back alley opens up a jacket and they're like, "Hey, you want to buy some gold, some real goldy?" Or if they're buying stuff, you think that they might be scammed. But everybody was super honest.
Everybody we've dealt with.
Yeah, super straightforward. Like, and that's just the kind of business that you do and like to deal with.
Yeah, I mean, we're definitely going to be looking for more jewelry, at least casually. Like, we'll check it out at sales and stuff.
Now we know how to look for
we've
gold.
got connections.
Yeah, now we have connections. So hopefully you guys have learned something from this. And if you do resell it all, or even if you just garage sell casually, you may have learned something, at least that there's value there to someone, from vintage stuff that might not be worth anything for scrap. It'll be worth something to someone if you have the right connection.
Yep.
I don't know what else to say.
$3,150 cash. And then we got, another, I don't even remember. We did the numbers before.
Let me check the spreadsheet. I can put them up on the screen. We've made 500 from the first rings, 951 from selling some stuff to Michael. We got all the trade-in. We'll just treat that as separate from now. We got 25 from some eBay watch bands, 101 for a watch, and then now 3150 for the rest of it. So that puts us at,
It's basically 4,700 cash.
yep, and then another almost 3,000 in trade-in.
So
And that's way over what we
it's around,
initially thought,
yeah,
right?
so close to about 7,500 is what we've received, and then we still have another 800 in value holding on to minimum.
Yep. And then we still have a bunch of stuff listed on eBay. We have a lot of gold-tipped pens.
Oh
We have a bunch of watches. So those are
so probably another $2,000-ish in value.
yeah. So I don't think any of that stuff is sold yet. We might have to adjust.
We just
the
got
price.
we
on
started
it.
at very, very high prices just in case, but we'll adjust prices and get a bunch of pieces sold around 100 to 150.
Yeah.
And I think it'll end around $10,000 in value.
Yeah. And what did we say initially? Like way back, we thought maybe we'd get around 5,000 for the rings, which pretty much, I mean, including the trade stuff, that pretty much checks out.
Yeah, we might have got about 7 to 8.
Yeah,
seven-ish thousand.
And then everything else, so.
Well, that was a crazy journey. And obviously, we didn't know any of this in the very beginning.
Yeah.
After we sold the first batch of 15 or 20 for $500 and found out that they're real, that's when it got crazy.
Just wild.
Yeah.
That's why it's called Gold Rush. It was a rush.
Gold Rush. It was a lot of fun. We got to bless the seller with a bunch more money too, and shared the profits with him, and it's been a great journey. And maybe a month down the line we'll be able to buy more from him.
Yeah, like now we have the connections to make it happen a lot quicker.
Yes,
and
get stuff sold well.
Yeah, or maybe even just hook him up with one of these people.
Yeah,
like if
we can make it happen. We can
it's
say,
a lot of money to front.
Here's who we sold to. So
yeah.
We'll see what happens. Until then, we're gonna wrap it. This is it.
Adios.
Hit that like button if you enjoyed learning something about gold and silver.
And if you didn't subscribe, because we don't do videos just about gold.
If you like video games and sports cards,
yes,
and reselling in general,
yes,
this is the place for you. So we resell anything if it's worth reselling.
Yeah.
And that's why we did jewelry.
Yeah. So we're gonna resell this Chick-fil-A cup.
$10. Anybody wants it?
Yeah, right now. I'm gonna list it after I finish it.
Okay, so we did go back and see the jewelry owner, and he was very, very thankful that we came back and paid a little bit more money. And after we did that, we kind of talked a little bit, and we said, hey, if you still have the rest of the jewelry, which we have seen, we can make you a good offer on it. So we put our offer on the table. It was multiple thousands, a very strong offer.
Even more than we offered the first time.
Yeah, so after I made these connections and learned a little bit more, I offered even more than the first time. So there's a bunch more rings. We made our offer. He is considering it, but we're pretty much closing the chapter on the book. He's going to take them to a few different places, get offers from them as well, kind of similar to what we did. And we just kind of told him, like, we want you to get as much as you can. Our offer stands as long as you don't sell any of it, and let us know. So I told him I'd give him a call in a month if I don't hear from him. But as of now, we're closing the chapter on that book, and we're very thankful for the journey that we've been on. So, yeah, this has been a fun one. Far will do.
Bye. Bye.